Hey YouTube, it's Adrian. Just before we get you to this video, do me a favor and head over to pageantlaunch.com. We are starting the world's first dedicated pageant review site, and I would love for you to join our launch team. All you need to do is put in your email address. It's completely free. We are looking to make a pageant industry that is safe, transparent, and fair. I know it's like that most of the time, but over the last year, it's become very evident that it's not like that all of the time. So head over to pageantlaunch.com, put in your email address, and let's get you to this video. Hey guys, it's Adrian from the Pageant Project, as Lauren just has a hiccup. We got this nailed down. We are so professional. Our special guest for PPJ tonight is none other than Harriotte Lane, Miss International UK. Now, how are the years going, Harriet? In fact, we'll start with Harriet catching us up and with the news with International. And I don't know if you're just 2019 now or you're 2019 and 2020 and 2021, but I'll let Harriet catch us up.
Yes, so obviously first was announced was Miss International 2020 was being postponed, and they were going to do a 60th edition rather than just the years. And then following obviously circumstances, Holly's decided to postpone the UK pageant side of things just because of safety wise. I don't know if my title actually changes, but yes, I'll be reigning until 2021 until I hand over. So I've decided to take the extra year because why the hell not? So I'm really excited for the opportunity, but that's pretty much the summary of it.
So will you be the longest
Okay,
ever
I can't hear Adrian
reigning?
right now.
Oh no. Here we go.
Okay. There's always okay. Well, we're going to remove Lauren and then we'll re-add her. Bear with. All right, Lauren, any better? No. Okay, Lauren, jump off the call and then come back. Okay.
She can't.
Oh no, she can't hear me.
Lauren, can you hear me? Lauren,
I can't hear Danielle either.
Oh God.
Can you hear me?
Just kick her
Yeah.
out.
Harry, can you tell her to
I
jump
just
off the
hear
call?
Harriet,
And come back?
that's it.
Yeah, come off the call, then come back on,
Tell her she
rejoin, and see if it
smells.
works.
How was it that everyone could hear everyone right until we go live, and then Lauren can't hear us? It's great. Now, whilst we recover from that bungle, Danielle Lebrand has said, "Go, Harriet." So, Harriet, aside from that, well, let's see if we can get Lauren back. Just give me a sec. Pray to God this works. Okay,
I love
Lauren.
a technical difficulty.
I don't. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
She's back.
Okay.
Can you
All
hear
right.
me?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Harriet, can you see if she can hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yay.
Thank God. Okay, let's stop now
Hallelujah.
because Jesus. All right, so Chloe has said, ha ha ha, this is rivaling the one where the tech goes bad. No, it's nowhere near that bad. I cut that down as a clip. It was 8 minutes of absolute awful, Chloe. So we're not quite that bad yet. But Harry, other than that, so obviously you've got the reign for a while longer, gives you a chance to do even more incredible stuff, which is awesome. Why don't you catch us up with everything else that you've been doing? I mean, since I last interviewed you, which would have been actually before you won your international UK title. So no, you'd won your international UK title, but you hadn't gone international. So do you want to catch us up with the last 7 months, if you can remember that long?
Oh my God, 7 months. Like, I feel like, I don't know, even Japan was like so long ago that so much has happened. But like the Japan experience was incredible. Like every day I was doing something. It was like the most busiest experience of my life as well. Like every day I was doing stuff, getting up ridiculously early, couldn't sleep at night because I was so damn excited for everything. And I just had the most incredible thing at Japan. Like I made so many friends. It was so professional, the organization. So it's a really random thing to say, but the whole experience was so perfect throughout. Like I got to meet like some amazing people there that were really important to the cities, like mayors, Holly laughs at this appearance. Someone asked, like, what was your favorite appearance, Harry? I was like, I got to pick my own oranges, right? Best moment of my life. I got to
Pick
pick
your
my own
own
oranges.
from where? A tree or the grocer?
Well, yeah, so they brought me this little tree of like oranges for me to pick, and no one just spoke English at that time, so they just brought me the tree and like little scissors for me to cut my own oranges. That was it. Best appearance.
And
Yeah, I gotta go to these fancy balls
That was in
and everything.
Japan.
That was in Japan, yeah.
I didn't realise they grew oranges in Japan. I thought that was more like a European thing.
I have no
No,
idea.
I
It wasn't. Did you say they brought you the tree?
Yeah, they brought me the tree in like a plant pot. These people just brought them in for me to cut.
Are you sure that's what you were supposed to do? Is cut the orange off? Maybe they gave you
Just
the
go
scissors.
right
You were
in.
supposed to trim it, and you've cut all the oranges off. I didn't know.
There's a
Yeah, it
sad
was.
person out there with a bald orange tree.
Yeah,
We took it to this
this means
special queen, and she
invest
cut
in
us
my
off.
life.
She cut off all our oranges because the Japanese have obviously a lot of culture, thousands of years. They have like the tea ceremony, for example. So there's all these
Yeah.
things that are steeped in tradition. And I'm just wondering, was that some sort of tradition that they bring you the orange tree and maybe you're supposed to cut a twig off, but
Maybe
not
like
all the
to
orange?
bless the orange tree.
Yeah,
No,
who knows?
it was really full. The
And they're
tree
like-
though, it was one of those one like orange, and I was like, yay, and that was it. And then I was like, oh, I've got to do the whole thing, and they were waiting for me to like cut this whole tree.
Oh,
And
this is just
I remember
labour. They're making you work.
yeah, they just got me to do it. I was
Just didn't
the
want to pay
best
you a
experience of
wage.
my life.
That is incredibly random. So obviously you had an amazing time in Japan. What have you been up to since you got back more on sort of home territories? I mean, we've been basically locked down this whole year, but
Yeah, up until December, I was so busy. Like, I literally got straight back into work afterwards, and obviously running up to Christmas, working in a restaurant, it was literally crazy. So I didn't have much time off. So it was quite good of just doing something different from pageants. I think I was so exhausted as well, just needed that kind of refresh, reboot, had a break, and then came back kind of after January ready and decided to start my own coaching business, which is super exciting for me and that I'm absolutely loving. And I went to Bali, and that was it. We were in lockdown. So that is literally how kind of the last 7 months have gone. To summarize it.
Lauren, sounds good. Lauren's cat, is Lola about to attack you again?
Oh, there she is.
Harriet, I don't know if you've seen, but Lauren has had some bad experiences with that cat whilst we've gone live. She's been attacked and all sorts of other things. I'm just waiting
Multiple
for it.
times.
Okay, well, that's Harriet. She's been super, super busy up until lockdown. And what have you been doing, Harriet? Final question, I guess, for now, to keep sane during lockdown? Because you also had your 19th, so you've had a big birthday. Well, what have you been doing to stay sane, or have you lost your sanity completely?
You know what? For the first week, it was pretty difficult. I literally just sat. I think I joined the whole Sims club. I played Sims for like the week, and then I was just like, nah, I can't live like this. I feel like I lost my days. Like, I can't live through a little virtual world. So then I decided to actually make proper plans each day. I kind of like just made like plans, what I could do, use the time wisely, catching up on things that I wouldn't normally do. So I just planned like a work day really nearly every day. That kept me kind of going, having that constant plan. And that was it really. And I've just kept that, and exercise as well where I can, and eat lots of cake.
If any of you have seen Harriet's stories, it's almost always food. It's either juices. You're going through a juice craze at the moment. I've seen smoothies. Then there's sweets. There's sushi. There's always sushi.
Always
it's horrible.
sushi.
Yeah, it
Always
makes me
sushi.
starving. It's horrific. Let's just catch up with the comments. Anthe here said, ah, ha, ha, you always such a laugh, beauty. It's not intentionally all the time, Anthe, is the problem. If it was intentional, it'd be one thing. I didn't intend to have the technical difficulties. Maggie G has said, hi, friends. Chloe, here we go. Now Joanna has been on 4 times. I'm waiting for my next invite. So Harriet, if you don't know, there's a standing competition to see who can appear on this podcast the most outside of these two crazies. And last time we had Joanna Johnson on, and she's now on 4. And Chloe and Olivia McPake are tied on 3. So Chloe's not happy because, or that's clear favoritism. Chloe, I did ask you to come on just to clear my own name, and you couldn't because you were busy. So you can't really point this one at me. This is a comment from YouTube. Harriet never lose a love for heels. You look so fabulous on them. Chloe is laughing. Danny, I think. Oh, about the oranges, I'm assuming. Apparently, Harriet. So apparently it's good luck. So I've heard.
There we go then. And the luck was in your favour.
Yeah, got me to top 5, eh?
Chloe's saying she's the scariest cat. She's not that bad. I just think Lauren antagonizes her. Speaking of antagonizing, Lauren, that was a smooth segue. Lauren, why don't you catch us up with what's been happening? How's your room going? Last one of these episodes, it looked like your room had been hit by a bomb. So catch us up.
Yeah, it's still the same. We had a joiner come around because we need some work doing to it. So we've gotten that booked in on the 17th. And then after that, then we can decorate it. But at the moment, I think everyone's back to work and a bit busy. So it's hard to try and get someone to come in and fix the room up. But it'll be done and it'll look amazing because obviously I'm designing it. So...
Okay, so so we've got Harriet in England. Danielle's also in England, and Lauren is in Wales. So, Lauren, what's the current state of lockdown in Wales, or where you're at?
We're still the same as we were last week. I think I went back to work on Wednesday, but that was fine. I wasn't allowed anyone in the office, so it was kind of like as if you were working from home because no one's allowed in anyway. But today I crossed over to England and went to the pub.
Because our pubs are open.
Yes. So, but I live right on the border. So we've spoken to people and they said we're allowed to because it's within 5 miles because it's literally like a 10-minute walk. So, we went and had a cheeky pint and then came back.
All right, that word sets me off, cheeky. So did England pubs reopen on the 4th of July or something? But Danielle can probably tell me. I don't mean that Danielle frequents the pubs all the time.
I mean, I haven't
Sorry.
since they've opened. Thank you very much. But yes, they did open on the 4th of July, and everyone seems to be in high spirits about that. That's if you can book a table anyway.
It was kind of ridiculous, though. I've seen some of the videos and photos. I mean, there was fighting. There was people not adhering to the social distancing. It was kind of like, whoa, okay.
Depends what pub you go to. I think it's going to vary. I know Soho, there was a bit of a nightmare in Soho because so many people flocked there. As you can imagine, there's a lot of people in London, and where we like to go out is Soho. So everyone just congregated there. So probably not the best place to go. But the country pubs, they're all going to be fine.
Yeah, mine's fine. Like the one in England, just down the road. There's no one there, to be honest.
The one in England, just down the road.
Yeah, just over there.
One pub in England, you know the one I mean, just that one pub, the pub, that pub.
The other ones have said that no one else is allowed to go there unless they're like regulars
Locals,
in the pub. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if you haven't been, I don't personally go into pubs, to be honest, so I'm not even allowed in any of the other pubs.
Are you too classy to go into pubs? Is that what you're saying, Lauren?
No, not at all. I just don't go out that much. I don't get out, to be honest.
I saw news in America because obviously they had the huge 4th of July celebrations and they went absolutely crazy in some states. But the issue is obviously there's still corona around. And now, particularly in some states like Florida, they're having the biggest numbers of COVID that they've ever had. And it's just really, really horrible. I mean, anyway, I'm sick of talking about corona. It's still there, is also what I'm saying. Let's move on from corona. Danielle, why don't you catch us up with what's been happening? I saw you got to pull up. This is my miming pulling up weeds. So I don't know what this looks like.
What? That's
I was going to say, you milking a cow there? What was that like? I wasn't doing that. Yeah, I got to. Oh, if ever there was a
welcome, Harriet.
Annie should turn into a.
They're blocking it out. Can't hear you guys.
We didn't see it. Erase it from my memory. It didn't happen. The funny thing is, you control the footage of this. I think I need to start recording from now on, so I've got footage on you to make it. a little.
I'll send you the
montage
recording,
film.
Daniel. You can start being the technical person behind the scenes, and then really it'll be God save us, because we'll see what happens. Anyway, Daniel, catch us up with the weeds, because you got to get out, which is amazing, exciting.
Yes.
So go for it.
So we had the green light that we could get together. I could get together again with my conservation group. So for those that don't know, I am a volunteer with the Lee Bridge Conservation Volunteers. We get together the first Sunday of every month. This is now becoming like a spiel. I say it all the time. Get together the first Sunday of every month, and we complete tasks in the local area, particularly in like a marshy area. So we just remove any kind of invasive plants or trees that are growing in the area that shouldn't be there. We monitor the wildlife that's in the area, and just kind of make sure that the area is tip top, really. So it was nice to see the guys. I am the only girl in the group, so it was nice to have some like lads, because I am a bit of a lad, so it was nice to be with the lads again. And
but Danielle didn't actually do anything, because they even admitted to us on House Party that she just sat there and ate biscuits and tea.
I mean, they know that I am a biscuit connoisseur, and they make sure they do provide some good biscuits. They had some very nice little, they were like ginger ones this time. They were good.
Oh, I love ginger biscuits.
But no, I worked really hard, I grafted, right? Those boys, any excuse to go off to like our base camp, because it was really sunny on Sunday. That any excuse for them to go, one of them, I'll just nip into the loo, I'm just going to the toilet. Not that there's a loo nearby, you have to go in a bush. Or they'll go, I'm just going to go get some water, or I'm just going to lay down for a minute. No, there I was pulling out the weeds. So my back's in.
I'm posing in a wheelbarrow.
I'm posing. Oh, we did that afterwards. Afterwards, we got in the wheelbarrow. I wasn't the only one in the wheelbarrow. There was plenty of us that got in wheelbarrows. But yeah, my back is aching today. I haven't worked out like that in a while. So yeah, that was nice. We had a new member. We'll see if they return. Because we have people that just come and go all the time.
Did you haze them, Danielle?
I was going to say, did you scare them off?
You know what?
Did you haze them?
I am always very welcoming. The guys, they're like kind of welcoming as well. But they've been doing it for like 20 years, because I'm a little bit newer. I'm a bit like, I'm the in-between person.
Yeah.
But no,
you're
it
the
was
friendly
really nice.
face.
Yeah. So that was really nice.
I mean that seriously. I don't know why Lauren is laughing.
She's
but anyway, continue.
I know
Continue, Danielle.
And then I went on a few walks, which is nice, preparing for my 3 Peaks challenge. So me and my best friend, we got our a nice long walk in. We walked from Margate to Ramsgate. That was really nice, preparing ourselves, getting ready. We've got the 3 Peaks challenge on the 19th of September. And we have been reviewing all the charities that everyone sent in. We still haven't settled on what one we're going to do yet. And then we were actually discussing when we're going to book Everest Base Camp as well. So, lots of walking in the future. What else have I been doing? I've filmed some content for my YouTube channel, which I have been neglecting for months. So there is a video coming out soon. And I think that's about it, really. That's what I've been up to. That's my life story. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
You've still got a
like
few.
how I just started talking about oranges. Like on my kind of update, I was talking about oranges. You guys did things productive. I just picked oranges.
Well, we were like scrumping fruit, because now everything's fruiting at the moment. Scrumping, yeah. You know, it's like it's a term
like crumping.
What's crumping?
No, it's like picking fruit.
Oh yeah, I know what crumping. It's the dance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crumping.
I thought you like dancing whilst you're picking up the orange.
We were like, basically, it's stealing people's fruit. We were stealing people's fruit. So we were stealing, and I'm a little bit gross. I do turn into one of the lads, and I was like, I'll let you know what my stomach's like tomorrow, boys. After eating, so we ate these little like
Harriette's face says it all right there. Thank you.
We nicked these like little plums that were yellow, and I was like, I don't know about this, guys, but they were all eating them, so I took one for the team as well. I had it, and I'm all good, by the way. I'm fine. There was no A&E trips needed, so.
Some of this stuff is slow acting, though, so it can take a couple of a couple of days to get through.
It might happen live on here. You just don't know. If I have to dash for some reason, you know what's going on.
If you hear any loud sounds, untoward sounds, just blame it on the
stomach rumbling.
technology.
It's fine. I'm wearing brown trousers. We're all good.
And Harriette, got all dressed and
Welcome,
glammed up, and she
Harriette.
said it was going to be completely
Welcome.
classy. And just watch
I was
the
ready.
tone. Watch the tone in the room, people.
Harriette knows me anyway. It's cool. She knows how I am.
So
Yeah,
we met
you seem
so long ago as well.
how okay. So why don't you tell us the story of how you guys first met? Because this is something that is interesting. So Danielle and Harriette, when did you guys first
Was it
meet?
London?
I think it's. Oh my god!
Was it London we first met? Then I mean, I was like 15.
That's when we first properly spoke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Harriette, I was at an event, like a London Fashion Week event, and it was so random. And we just saw Harriette there as well. We were like, oh my god, you're attending this event as well. So yeah, London Fashion Week event.
And was Harriette?
You're like 15.
Was she shorter?
Like
I was going to say, was she shorter than
you
back
are
then?
now, taller than all of us.
I was going to say I'm the same height since I was 15. I've not grown since I was like 14, 13. So I've literally been giant since forever.
Yeah, but I've seen you around at like pageant events and stuff, but I hadn't had the chance to really speak to you then. That was the first time we proper had a conversation.
Yeah,
And what about
pretty much it. That's all I can think.
What about Harriette and Lauren? How did you two guys first meet?
I can't really think of the first actual time.
The first time I ever saw you would have been UK Power Pageant, but I don't think I spoke to anyone then because it was like my first ever one of Holly's like pageants that I went to. And then I think I had a conversation with you very briefly at your handover weekend for Junior Teen Great Britain when Erin won. But I don't think it's kind of like one of those friendships that you have online and then like you meet in person and it's like, oh yeah. We know each other. Like,
yeah, it was all of a sudden like we were just friends there. Like it wasn't like, oh hi, nice to meet you. It was just like we.
It wasn't like an introduction.
Yeah.
It was like we already know. Like hi. Yeah.
Guys watching, if you have any questions for Harriette, because I'm sure some of you do, then feel free to ask them. And Daniel and Lauren will chip in where needed, obviously. I'm just going to go through the comments. Jasmine here, for example, said, this is brilliant. My first live video with you guys, and I can't stop smiling. I hope it's because we're so entertaining, not because we're so unprofessional. I live in hope. Chloe Lake, Lauren's waiting for me to paint her room on Saturday. Are you employing slave labor, Lauren, are you?
Yes, I am. So
seems a bit below Chloe's pay grade. She's got a giant brain, and you're getting
definitely.
And Chloe is in. How do you pronounce that word? Is it Leicestershire?
Leicestershire. Yeah, Leicestershire.
I say Leicestershire. I was going to say Leicestershire because anyway, Leicestershire. Well, that's how it's anyway. Where we have local lockdown because people can't behave. Is that? I saw that in the news. Is that literally like your one? Is that a city or a county? I don't know what it. That literally like they're jailed in there, or like what's happening? Does anyone know what's happening in Leicestershire?
Like The Simpsons. Do you remember The Simpsons when they came and put that bubble over them? They've got the dome over Leicestershire, and basically they can't get in and out, so they're all trapped inside this big dome.
It's like the Eden Project stuck on top of them.
No, basically wherever there's hotspots in the UK of coronavirus, they are putting them into mandatory lockdown. So it's just like it was at the beginning. And they basically just can't leave the house because people aren't adhering to the rules.
That's no good. All right, sorry to hear that, Chloe. This is over on YouTube. I can't quite make it out. It says Harriette revolutionizes at Indonesia. She was a star of the event. How many photos? Oh God, Harriette, how many photos?
Oh my
10,000.
God! Like I can't even remember. I couldn't even take 2 steps of like not getting my photo taken. I remember that. Actually, weird story even getting there. So me and my dad went separately we both went on motorbikes. I was actually fully in a gown on a motorbike going through Jakarta because I was really late. And then obviously, as soon as we were separate, he was there 30 minutes before me. Like mine got lost. I was fearing for my life, and got there. And obviously, the whole time I had to walk ages, and like it must have been about a mile in heels in this dress. And literally every step of the way, obviously everyone else was walking, and it was just like, can I have my photo taken with you? So it took me like 20 minutes just to get through the front door. Never mind, like I would have said there's over like 2,000 photographs easy of like different people.
Wow.
Why were you on a motorcycle?
It's the easiest way to get around in Asia because the traffic's so bad.
Yeah,
when
we
you're
were
in a
so
gown?
late. Yes, I was in a
When
full
you're-
kebaya, which is the traditional dress in Indonesia. And honestly, it was so tight because it was meant for someone who was probably a lot shorter than me. So it didn't fit right. And I was like, oh my God, it's going to rip. And actually, at the end, I got in a taxi and it ripped. Like, after the motorbike was fine. And then I got in the taxi and then it ripped. And it was like at the start of the event, I was like,
That's
okay.
probably the good time for it to rip is in the taxi, not on the motorcycle.
Not on the motorbike, yeah.
Oh God, definitely.
What else have we got? We've got a lot of people saying hi. Nicola here has said you can go to the pub, but our children can't go to school. That's a bit odd. Layla has said yes, YouTube. Hey, yeah. Natalie, I hope you're doing well. We were supposed to have Natalie on, but she was unwell. So she's from the pageant planner, right? I get all there's so many pageant names to remember. I'll throw this one at Harriette, and then I'll quickly throw it to Danielle and Lauren too, only because they've answered that, I think, a bajillion times on interviews and podcasts. But Harriette, how did you get into pageants?
So first, there was a little bit of a story that when I was 12 years old, I burnt my leg and needed skin grafts. And I was really self-conscious. Like the scarring was pretty bad when I first got it done. It was like, obviously the scars were really dark and I literally wouldn't leave the house. I just started modeling and I wouldn't do anything anymore. And my mum actually looked at model competitions, and the only thing that really came up was pageants. And she was a little bit like, I don't really know anyone that does that, and kind of just kept looking for model stuff. And then she had to read into it and ask different mums and stuff on like this group on Facebook, and was like, oh, like my daughter's got so much confidence from it. And she just decided to enter me and didn't tell me until I got through the semi-finals of Miss Teen Great Britain. And from there, my mum told me when I got through to make sure I would actually get through to the final in case I got rejected. So then I got through, and then ever since I've just been absolutely addicted and pretty much doing them once a year.
Have you managed to get your mum into a pageant yet? I remember during our interview we were talking about this. Has mum? Yes, no.
Well, actually, I applied for Galaxy a few years ago. She got in and she just wouldn't do it. So it just like, yeah, Holly was just like, I'm gonna hold this for next year, and it's always been next year and next year.
Keep deferring her
try.
application.
We could definitely try.
Why not this year? She's got nothing better to do. Everyone's in lockdown.
National Miss.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
She's probably in the other room or like watching this. She'd be like, "Oh my God, no."
I do think though
that
everyone should do a pageant at least once in their life to see exactly what it's about.
Absolutely.
Like my mum loves them, but she's on the outside looking in. But I would love her to do one. I'm like, come on, Louise, you need to know what it's all about and get that feeling of being up on stage.
Absolutely. Louise she'll do it eventually. She will.
I can imagine actually doing it. That's the thing.
Exactly. Louise, your mum, like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Your mum has so much sass. I can just imagine her owning that runway and having the time of her life. So you got to be careful. She might outsass you, Lauren.
She might get more crowns than you, Lauren.
I know.
That won't go down well at all. But just quickly, in between the three of you, I'm sure we can cover this. So what is actually still running in 2020 in the UK in terms of pageants? It's still scheduled. It's Miss Teen GB is still scheduled.
Mm-hmm.
Intercontinental is still scheduled. Yemi, Hannah was telling me, is still scheduled. Am I missing any? I mean, I'm sure I'll miss some of them, but are those three are running? Are there any others that are still running in 2020?
Did you
Not
say
that
Teen
I'm
Great
aware of.
Yeah, Teen Great Britain.
Teen GB, Yemi, Intercontinental.
And Intercontinental.
Oh, Miss England is online.
Oh,
I know that's still going ahead
just
online.
shows you how much I follow it.
I only saw it because we had a Zoom meeting on Thursday with the director of Miss Wales to discuss the future of Miss Wales for 2020. So it was just brought up on the call that was going ahead online. But no, in terms of anything else, there's not really much going ahead.
Okay, and Miss England has just gotten a lot of bad press, I think, recently. They've been in the newspaper for stuff that I won't go into. I do want to comment on it, but I won't comment on it here. They're just proper awful. And then Holly's system. So what is it in UK? I can't remember the name because it's new. Is it
UK's
UK
National Miss. National Miss.
And that's in March? That's March, where Galaxy would normally be, right?
Yeah.
And then Internationals of Galaxy 2021 would be in July. And then when is Galaxy UK next year? It's after Internationals. Is it September?
November.
Yeah.
So my handover will be, so I'll have a total of 1 year and 8 months reign. So I'm not sad about it.
No, you and Harriette both are going to be the longest serving queens for your respective titles, I think, for a long, long time. Okay, so that's just, when Miss Wales, Miss Universe, have they been rescheduled, like the UK versions?
We had a call the other day to obviously discuss what options we have as finalists, and basically the conclusion is that there won't be any online pageant unless Miss World puts pressure on the fact that the directors need to crown someone. The options are either having it in a hotel and not in a theatre, because obviously theatres still aren't opening. So if a hotel is safe to open and they say, yep, you can have an event in the ballroom or something like that, then that's what will happen. Or we're just hoping and praying that the theatres can open back up before the end of the year, because Miss World hasn't actually changed their dates yet. It's still, we haven't heard anything, so it's still as if planned to go ahead in December or December. So really, it's like one of those, like, we haven't got any clarification from Miss World to know what we need to do with our finals.
There's still time. There's still time, even if they crown someone in November. Like, we've just been told to be ready and prepared for whatever happens.
It's tough though. It's like I'm reminded when I interviewed Sarah Davies, who's in the getting ready for the Olympics, which should have been roundabout now. Actually, I think. Can you imagine? Like, you're training like a demon, and you have to taper off when it's in the lead up to the Olympics. I don't know if pageantry is the same, but overtraining is a big problem. And then you're tapering off, and it's like, oh, the Olympics now will be next year. Now you've sort of got to adjust on the fly. So if you're preparing for Miss Wales and you never know when it's going to happen, that's far from ideal. But I guess everyone is dealing with the same thing. So at least it's fair.
Yeah. The only thing is, though, if the girls age out, so say, for example, Miss World moves their finals till next year, there's girls in the finals that are going to age out, so they won't be able to compete.
I guess unless they make an exception to this year.
They may make an allowance.
Upped. Yeah, Miss International upped. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Which I think it's fair in this case because it's such unusual circumstances. I'm just praying for the world to go back to normal sooner rather than later. Megan G has said, OMG, have you invited us up to paint? I don't know who us is. You have to talk to Lauren about that. Chloe,
She's
obviously.
She's got an ulterior motive. She's saying
that's why you're all invited on the weekend, so you can all bring a paintbrush with you.
Basically, Lauren's invited a few of us up for a little bit of a sleepover and a hangout. But really, we know what's going on. She wants us to come up and help her with her bedroom. We know what's going on.
The join-in's not being done till the 17th, so you're all safe. We can't do any work to the bedroom.
You're going to get them to do the joining, are you? That's brave of you.
I paid someone else to do it.
Your house will be falling down or on fire.
Hey, I'm a handy Dan.
Stop taking offense at everything, Danielle. What was I going to say? Because Harriette was saying that she played Sims back sort of early during lockdown, and that everyone was playing Sims, including Lauren. And I got into it, and I made a household that was full of pageant girls because it had Lauren, Joanna, and Danielle. Lauren, Joanna, and Chloe. No, it didn't have. I made the psycho household, and I kid you not, within 5 minutes, they burned the house down. Like Joanna tried cooking something, set the stove on fire, then set herself on fire and died within 5 minutes. I'm like, obviously pageant girls aren't supposed to be Sims, so it just doesn't work. It's a random story for you there. Rachel has said, hey, how's lockdown life for you all? Getting back to normal? I don't think any of us are really back to normal yet. We've caught up with the crew a little bit. Danny has said, can't stop giggling. This is better than watching TV. I don't know what's on TV, so I don't know if that's a good
Depends what
comparison.
you're watching on TV, to be honest. If
That's what I
countdowns
mean.
on, hopefully we're a bit more exciting than that.
I like that the one that Jimmy Carr, the eight out of 10 cats does countdown because I like. Amber has said
when Joe Lycett was on it.
Huh?
I liked it when Joe Lycett was on it.
Oh yeah, he's funny.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Know who that is.
I'll send you the link
to who that is.
Okay. Amber has said you look stunning in internationals. I assume, Amber, you're not talking to me. You're talking to Harriet. So now this is interesting. There are 4 comments here, Harriet, from a certain Sarah Lane. Here's comment 1. It says no. Here's comment 2. It also says no. Here's comment 3. Also says no. Here's comment 4. That also says no. So I think Sarah really wants to get into pageantry.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's just autocorrect. It's just autocorrect,
Don't two negatives make a positive?
Yeah,
that's a
they do.
Positive, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So she said
the 2 positives are still very positive.
Yeah,
all right. So
Galaxy and UK National Miss.
Yeah. So I'm going to clip this part out and send it to Holly. Sarah, you're welcome. We'll just fast track your application.
We've got the photo there as well.
Yep. We got it sorted. And look, Charlotte is already celebrating Sarah's entrance into pageantry by saying, "Ha ha, Sarah, yes." I love it. We're throwing your mum. We're throwing your mum under the bus. There's another one here
as well.
Look, Lynn Nelson has said, "Come on, Sarah, I done 2, but definitely no more." It was, you got to start with 1. You never know where we'll finish. Yes, Natalie, Miss Voluptuous is still scheduled for October, as Anthea said, in the internationals next year, May. Look at this.
Not bad attitude.
Sarah, what would it take? What part is holding you back? And then you have no shortage of people, obviously, who want you to enter and would be more than willing to coach you. Harriet, would you ever coach Mum? Would that work? Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Could you coach your mum? Is she coachable?
Bless you. Bless you. I'll say bless you for starters. I think she would listen, but I feel like we would bicker. I feel like because when I was younger, when she used to say, do this, like when I was like 13, I'd be like, no, Mom. I feel like we would still be the same. You're not doing it right, start again. But I think some
role reversal.
Things are left. Yeah, totally.
How's your mum's walk?
You what? Sorry, I didn't get that.
How's your mum's walk?
Yeah, she's good. She's great.
I can imagine Sarah being able
that was very much like, yeah, she's good.
I can imagine Sarah being able to get up there and deliver a cracking walk. She's seen enough pageants
I feel like she's got some
what's
sass.
Good and what's not, so she knows her stuff.
I know. I feel like she would actually rock it. And to be fair, I think it's just more getting it up there, and I think she would actually love it. But I think it's going to take something to actually get it up on that stage.
They definitely say
you guys...
don't they? When you get older, you have more fear.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're younger, you don't really have that sense of fear. So you need to get that fear out of her and just push her on stage and be like, "You're going."
Yeah, just get her sash, turn up at the pageant thinking UK National Miss. Oh, hang on. Oh, God. What an entrance. I was thinking, I must see the dog coming in.
Come on, Sarah.
Yeah.
Sarah has put what it would take to get her into pageantry, and her answer is this many pounds. That's
Sarah,
you could solve a lot of
your application. What would you prefer, UK's National Miss or Galaxy? I'm filling out your application for you.
I could even hear that "come on, Sarah" from here.
So what you doing, UK's National Miss or Galaxy?
No.
It's like that. It's like in what is it?
Back me
You're just saying back you up.
He's the one that threw you under the bus.
Okay,
I
Galaxy
love-
it is.
Timing.
I think that's the first time we've ever had a walk-on. Although Louise has had a couple of walk-on, but that was perfect timing.
Very good timing.
Danielle, you are. Danielle would do this. Danielle is actually going for it. This is hilarious. Okay. All right. So Harriet, you
Entering you now, Sarah.
like, is Sarah with an H or without an H? Oh, God.
Harriet, can you
or the
DM me
support.
your mum's email, please?
I'll send you it over.
Heather here has said Mama Lane needs to do a pageant. Anthony has said, Mrs. Lane, you have the in-house coach. Now take advantage of it. And she's also said, Sarah Lane GoFundMe page can be set up. Okay. This is fantastic. So during this episode, we've managed to enroll Harriet's mum into a pageant. I think that's a job well done. So we can feel that we've all been productive for this last 30, 40 minutes. Amazing. Sarah, better get training, work out your outfits and all those things, start practicing your interview and all that good stuff. If you'd like to have an interview with me, then I'll send you the link and you can
She's being really nice.
Oh.
For now.
Yeah,
No.
5 minutes from now she'll be clawing your face off. Okay, why don't we go around the room for this? I'll assume that Layla's asking this of Harriet, but I'll ask Daniel and Lauren first, and then we'll go to Harriet. So, is there a ghost?
It's a dog now. No, it's a dog making sure, like where I was after not being down. I probably can hear me up here. He was just checking. I think it was okay. Bless him. Just shut the door though, so he doesn't come back in.
Is that the dog that I always see in your stories that has sort of jumped on your bed? Or jumped on someone's bed?
It's like my mum's bed, but he literally just goes in. It'll be really quiet all of a sudden. He'll just like go upstairs and just sneak on the bed. He's not meant to be on. We're like, no, like dogs on the furniture, but he'll just slowly go up. And then as soon as he go up the stairs, he's normally there either ready to pounce and move, or with me, he's starting to get more chill because I don't get him off. But with my dad, he's like, get off.
We'll come back to the hairstyle question. Look at what we've managed to do. Find me a sponsor and I will consider. There you go.
Right.
I don't think that's going to be difficult at all.
Well, do you mean a cash sponsor or otherwise? Because Natalie Carley here has hit me up for a planner. So does that count as a sponsor? And does that mean now that you have to enter, Sarah? I mean, look, Natalie is volunteering you a planner. Let's go. Poor mum. Actually, I think it's hilarious. We'll go through Danielle, then Lauren, and then on to Harriet. So Danielle, what's your go-to on-stage hairstyle?
Ooh,
I'll skip myself. I don't have one.
For me, I don't like anything that's too crunchy or stiff. Minimal hairspray, I always say. I just, as long as it looks healthy, shiny, and soft. Like, you want it to look like hair you want to touch. If there's ringlet curls or sausage curls, or I don't like that, I just want to take a brush to it. Just make sure it just looks soft. That is my tip on hair.
How long is your hair now, by the way? Because every episode I said it's getting...
Way too long. It can reach my belly button now. So, Louise,
it looks healthy.
I may be needing your expertise this weekend. So I have my ulterior motives as well. Yeah, it's really long. It's really long. I needed a haircut before Galaxy, but I was literally too broke and didn't have enough time to get it done. So yeah, it's so my long. Split ends now have split ends. So
sounds good. And Lauren, what's your go-to on stage hairstyle as you pet your evil cat and look like an evil genius?
You want like hair that moves with you as well. You don't want it to be like so backcombed on top that it's just so stiff and doesn't have like that kind of natural motion to it. But for me personally, I do like straight hair, but on other people. I don't know whether it would suit me because I don't know whether I'm ready to make that risk.
I think it would. I love straight hair.
I was going to do it. I was going to do it for my handover for UK Power Pageant, but then I bottled it and I just decided to go with curls. But it depends as well, because if you have like an evening gown that really does suit a hair up, that maybe you've got your back on show or something like that, then I would like try and do like some sort of updo, which is what I'm planning on doing for Miss Wales is wearing it down and then doing an updo. So
Nice. And Miss Harriet, what about yourself? Go to on-stage hairstyles.
It has to be the typical like over the side fringe thing I always do. Loads of volume. Like I normally use like so many different products just in the root just to get that bounce because I hate back comb of how it's like almost like this wig, you know, when it goes on and like you would move your
and it
head
doesn't
and
move.
kinda,
It's just so stiff.
yeah, and I just kind of like I play with my hair. I'm like this all time changing my fringe, so I need to be able to like do that. But the big curls brushed out and really long hair, that's what I like.
And you have to also be careful that your fringe doesn't come like onto your face to hide. You want it to kind of just sit back.
Yeah. I think the key to good hair is having healthy hair. So really look after it. Don't just think about
Get a good haircut before you go.
Yeah, have a good, nice little trim. Look after your hair. Use good products on it. Don't heat style it too much. And I feel like straight hair is an absolute look at the moment. I'm loving straight hair. But I feel like it does suit the brunettes a little bit better because those that do dye their hair, I mean, I used to be blonde, but you tend to see a lot more damage of the ends of the hair. And it can tend to be a little bit drier because of bleach. So I would, if you do bleach your hair, then I would do recommend a little bit of a curl just to make it look a little bit healthier and shinier. But if you've got, like, I've got virgin hair now, like there's not any dye left in me. So it's retained its shine and its health back. So if you can, if you are happy to not dye your hair, I do love that straight look. And like what Lauren said as well, if you've got a high neck dress, I always love hair up with a high neck dress, just because then you're then showing the dress off in its full glory. You're not hiding it with your hair. And don't use your hair as a blanket as well. Don't hide behind your hair. Don't feel like you have to. Because I love seeing girls' faces. I want to see your face.
Use your hair as a blanket? What do you mean?
Yeah, like a comfort
when
blanket.
they have their hair like this.
Yeah, I think
You
of
don't
it in the past.
You're hiding, like you'd rather have like a bit behind ear and show the earrings and the structure of the
I think a lot of people use their hair as a comfort blanket and hide behind it and too scared to put their hair up. I think you really have to look at your wardrobe and what you're wearing. And
to be honest, do you know who I think nailed pageant hair this year? Joanna.
Yeah, she did my hair.
She did Hannah, and Hannah Webster's as well was spot on.
Yeah, she was meant to do my handover. Not happening this year, but when next year she's already booked in. I was going to say I've already booked her in.
That's a really, really early booking. I'm going to go through. Layla has said mum and daughter queens were still on Sarah joining a pageant. Jasmine has said, I love cats. I have 4. Natalie has said yes. All right, so this is definitely happening. Harriet, we've managed to get your mum into a pageant. She already has a sponsor, so you'd better start training her up.
Got the coach.
Yeah, you got the coach. Evil cat. Need to get a hairless cat, Lauren. Oh, those look horrible. Those
my God, they are so
cute.
No, they are so cute. They are so cute.
No, it looks like something that's run out of a lab somewhere. Don't they also like to swim? There's one type of cat that likes to swim. Yeah, but your cat's not hairless.
Look her back up now.
Nice,
she's like, nah.
Fluffy.
Don't touch me.
Kill, Lola, kill. And Anthony here has said basically get a hairdresser sponsor. Okay.
Or get a mum that's a hairdresser.
Get a mum. So Lauren, you've got the gang coming over. You've invited them over for a sleepover, but you're really actually going to use them to paint your room. And Danielle has gone a step further and actually been smart about it and getting your mum to give her a haircut.
I mean,
oh my God.
Told you.
See?
Told you.
There we go.
Good,
this is why you need
good
a
girl, Lola.
cat.
Do it again. Do it again. Get her.
See?
I don't know whether you can see. She just scratched me.
You deserved it.
I like the sass of attitude of just walking out of there as well.
Cat walked out.
She's gone.
That's what cats are like, though. See, the dogs are very like they always look happy. You walk in a room, you've been gone 5 minutes, a dog looks like so happy to see you. A cat just gives you this stare, like, what are you doing? Like, where have you been? And then you go to pat them, and they're all happy. And my cat does this, and my cat looks exactly like Lawrence. He seems really, really happy, and then when you go to leave, he smacks you. I don't. It's a very
No.
cat thing.
No, my Thomas is not
Not
like
your
that.
cat. Your
He's
cat's
soppy.
yeah.
Your cat's special.
He is. He's my
Your cat
special
gives
little boy.
you neck massages,
Yeah, he does. In the morning.
and he's the world's loudest purrer as
He's-
well. Every time.
My cat's got asthma. That's why he purrs
Aw.
so loud. He should really have an asthma pump. He has little asthma attacks every now and then. And
Oh my god!
my
I didn't
dad-
know cats could get asthma.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you joking or are you serious?
No,
How do you know
I'm
your cat has
serious.
asthma?
He's got asthma. So basically,
wow.
for the longest time, he used to sound like he's bringing up like a fur ball. So my dad used to think that he was going to like throw up and used to kick him out and kick him out the house. Like we have conservatory area, which is like Tom's domain. So dad
Yeah.
used to like always kick him out, and he never used to throw anything up. He just was having an asthma attack. And that explains why his purr was so loud and so wheezy. And then yes, I put a video up a little while ago of him, and someone said, I think the cat's got asthma, and then I YouTubed it, and the videos of the cats having asthma attacks is exactly what Tom was doing. So yeah, he definitely has asthma, and I probably should take him to the
Oh
vets
my
to get a
goodness.
pump. They're these cute little pumps that go over their face, and they used to put the little when they're having a little attack.
That's so cute.
Yeah, so he is a bit
Ew.
special.
I feel sorry for him now because basically what was happening, he was
He
having
would
an
take
asthma
the
attack.
mickey out of
And your
him.
dad would get kicked. Your dad, no. Well, yeah, that too. But he would have an asthma attack and then basically your dad would kick him out. I mean,
Yeah.
I do kick him outside as well.
I think my dad feels guilty about that now, because I said to Dad, I think he's actually got asthma, and he's like, really? I showed him the video, and he's like, oh yeah, he probably does have asthma. I won't kick him out from now on then.
Well, so obviously Lauren and Danielle have cats and Harriet has a dog. Have you guys ever gone the other way? Like, have Danielle and Lauren, have you guys ever had dogs, or have you ever had a cat?
Yeah. I'd say I
No
got like
cats.
my dad's got a dog now, but obviously I don't live with my dad, so like I just go around there and I've been on like one walk with the dog.
Harriet, you wouldn't do a cat?
I'm not a cat
Not a
person.
cat person.
They're so
No.
cute and nice.
I think I'm
Says
too much. I
you,
feel like
just
I
got swiped.
scream like when I see an animal, and they're just like, "Oh my god, hell no!" and they're like out of here. So I'm just not a cat person. I feel like I need the dog's energy, like too excitable.
So what happens when you see a cat? Are you one of those people that the cat stalks all the time? Because I've had people like that. Literally, the cat follows them everywhere. Because once a cat knows you're terrified of it, it takes in a lot of pleasure in following you around and terrifying you.
Yeah.
So what happens when you're in a room with a cat, Harriet?
Oh, like I'm not scared of them. I just want to be like, if they were a dog, like proper, like give them like scratches, cuddles, but they don't like that, so they just walk away from me and they just
Oh, my
like
cat
go
loves
to a
it.
different room.
No, Harriet, you need to experience Thomas, because Thomas, he loves it. He gets excitable. He loves his ears scratched. He's a dog, really.
I just haven't met Thomas. I don't like
No.
cats. I just haven't met
You-
Thomas yet.
You need a Thomas in your life. I'll bombard you with videos of Thomas now. You're like,
Send them in
please,
the
no more.
post. Uh, Jasmine here has said every cat has a personality. I have a stubborn cat, scaredy cat, playful cat, and solo cat. That sounds like a nursery rhyme, but I do agree because I've had a lot of cats over the years and some dogs, but every cat has been really, really different. And the one I have at the moment that looks like Lauren's cat is just the derpiest, fluffiest. Like you can pick him up because he's a rag doll. So basically I say he has no bones. You pick him up, you put him over your shoulder and he just flops there. So I think you just got to find the right kind of cat.
Yeah, but I got my cat when I was feeling really, really down, and now every time I feel down, my cat will come to me and like she knows when I'm upset or feeling a little bit low, so she'll come to me and give me cuddles. So there is also that weird kind of like bond between an owner and their cat.
Yeah. Why do you think she just hit you just now? What does that mean?
Oh, I was playing with her foot, so that's what it
Okay.
was.
It's your fault.
So
Yeah.
you got us
It's
blaming
so
the
soft,
cat, whereas you.
though.
They're so soft. They don't like their feet being touched. Just don't touch them. Thomas doesn't like his feet being touched either, but he wouldn't swipe me. He just
Layla
goes-
here has. Ooh, what's your favorite color on stage? Because all your evening gowns were so nice. Why don't we go to Harriet first? Favorite color on stage?
You could probably guess this. Like I think bar one evening gown wasn't blue. like everyone have been like a different shade of blue. Like I just love blue, like any color blue, and I'm happy. I'm sold on it. As you can see, even now I've got my blue bodysuit on. Has to be.
Lauren, favorite color for yourself?
I like blue on me because it brings out my eyes, but then I also like red and I like pink. And to be honest, it's always the style of dress rather than the color, because if the style is right and you can deal with the color and the color's a good color on you, then it's fine. It all depends on your own personal preference. But I'm quite easygoing when it comes to dresses, though.
Is there any color
I see
that you
something I
wouldn't
like,
wear?
and I'm like, yeah, let me get it in that color because it looks nice in that color.
Or is there a color that you just wouldn't do?
I probably wouldn't go for like orange.
Orange. That's
Yeah, like a bright orange. It wouldn't suit me.
I heard in color theory, this color theory being this idea that different colors evoke different emotional responses. I think this was on a sitcom or something, but orange apparently makes people angry, so it's probably a good idea not to wear an orange. Isn't a sitcom, and this guy was wearing an orange tie, and everywhere he went around, people would just punch him in the face for no reason. So it's probably a good idea that that was a sitcom. I don't know if it's true or not. So full disclosure, Danielle, favorite color for yourself?
For me, colours on stage, it's got to be down. Like, this is the stylist in me again. It's all down to the girls' colourings, what colour of hair, tone of skin, the backdrop, everything you need to. I see pageantry as art. It is moving art. And your style is a part of that moving art. So I say definitely talk to someone, if you haven't, about what, like, your colour wheel, your colourings and what colours suit you. Personally, I am a sucker for a black gown. I don't know why. It just suits everyone. Don't listen to what anyone says about, it's a black backdrop, so you can't wear a black dress, because at the end of the day, I think that only is relevant to your photos afterwards, maybe.
I mean, I've got to be honest, my black dress at Galaxy just didn't show. I mean, in real life, it was amazing, but
the judges are judging you what they're seeing you on stage. They're judging you what they can see in real life. It's just your photos afterwards, you won't be so happy with them, because it won't pop so much in a photograph. But then again, the judges are not judging you based on a photograph, they're judging you based on the girl that they see in front of you. And I am a sucker for a black gown. Maybe not so suitable for teen or junior, really depends on the styling of it all. But if you're a Mrs, Ms, I love a black gown. There's something very Audrey Hepburn classic about it. Colours, maybe I would agree with Lauren on orange. I think it really has to suit your skin tone. I think orange is one of those difficult colours. It's just harder to wear.
I don't think I own anything in my wardrobe that's orange either.
I've got a few orange pieces. I really, instead of like a bright orange, I really love like a burnt orange. I would love to see someone in a burnt orange sparkly gown. I think that would be stunning.
When you say burnt orange, it just makes me think of desserts, because isn't that that's a kind of, like a creme brulee with burnt orange? No.
Yeah.
No,
I always think
a sparkly terracotta gown would be absolutely stunning, and it's something that I haven't seen anyone do yet. So,
and I always think, go to a dress shop and just try on as many dresses as you possibly can in that one day, or even over a weekend. Go to multiple dress shops. Just try everything on, because you'll discover styles and colours that suit you. Like, for example, when I went to Texas, I was going to Maria, like, no, pink dress, not for me. I hate the colour pink. And I despised it. And then I put it on, and even though it was like a size 14, I was like, oh my God, this dress is amazing. And then I ended up buying it for handover. And now I love that
pink dress. But that tone of pink that you had, that was more of like a hot pink, wasn't it? And
it was like a fuchsia.
Hot pink fuchsia on a blonde is just always beautiful. Same with
now
blues,
I have another
blue
pink
tones.
Dress. I have another pink dress for Miss Wales, and I'm a brunette. But
it's a different tone, though.
Yeah, so. And even that goes well.
And I feel like that tone, because I've seen your dress, I feel like that tone would wash a blonde out. if you get what I mean.
Possibly,
So
yeah. If they didn't
really,
have a tan.
it's not necessarily about the color, it's about the shade and tones that you're working with as well. So it's not just one color that is like, everyone goes, oh, royal red. I think royal red is quite a hard color to pull off because it is such a bold color.
Danielle,
My
you
two
need to
cents.
teach. Your 2 cents was. This is why I said you
It's like
launch a
stirring the
YouTube
pot with
channel
me.
and then start a styling business off of it, because you just went on a massive rant about styling, which obviously was on point. It's way above my head, but you know so much about it. You should be doing it because people would pay you for that sort of knowledge. And you can even do it online. Just basically, go on a webcam. You can see what the person looks like and go, "What do you think? Like, what would work for me?" So.
But one color,
I think that's something there.
one color, I don't know why, but this color always seems to stick out. Turquoisey tones. Oh my goodness. If you get like a turquoise, I don't know why, but turquoise, when you've got a line up of girls, turquoise always pops for some reason. I don't know why.
I think it's because we have a connection to the ocean and we love the color of the sea.
Maybe. But I feel like turquoise really does pop.
And it really suits pretty much every skin tone, I think, as well.
Yeah.
You can't really go wrong with it.
Absolutely.
Sophie here has put Deanne's MU. I don't know who that is. Do you guys?
Universe gown.
Oh, she wore an
Yeah,
orange
yeah.
dress.
Yes.
Yeah, but
and
that
you know
suited
what?
her skin tone.
Suited her skin tone. I wouldn't necessarily put that on a fair girl. If she's quite pale, I wouldn't put that dress on a pale girl. I actually, controversial opinion, I actually prefer Deanne's yellow dress that she wore Miss Universe Great Britain in. I was really hoping she'd rewear that. Not bashing the orange gown was beautiful, but there was something about that yellow gown that was just extra special for me.
Okay. I'm just over here trying to look up the gown because I don't think I found it yet. Sophie has said, really enjoying finding the right dress cut for me with my short hair. Yeah.
I love short hair.
Yeah, we had Sophie on the other week, and she was talking about how for her just short hair really, really suits her. Obviously, most people in pageant land have long hair. Guys watching, if you have any further questions for any of us, or in particular for Harriette, put them in now because I'm going to move towards a wrap up. It's amazing. The thing I had up was still catching up with the crew, and I haven't put anything in there because a whole hour has just been catching up. Why don't we start with Harry, though, in terms of what we've got exciting, anything coming up? If we do, I know in lockdown it's a little bit not much going on. But Harry, do you have anything exciting coming up in the coming weeks, days, months, hours?
Well, I'm just getting back to coaching, really. Like, I've got so many girls now, especially doing the virtual stuff. I think everyone's now kind of done the virtual stuff and going, right, okay, when we're doing dates, and everyone's kind of waiting, and I've got like different things planned around the country. So that's kind of the next plan. Kind of just working on me, and I can't actually wait just to have some normal life. I think after this, I'm going to just have a lot of me time socializing with friends when I can properly. But I'm definitely excited to actually get more of my year, because I feel like a bit of it was lost because I had still so much planned. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I was making sure, but yeah, like I've got so much like planned for like definitely next year, kind of like campaign wise. I've got like loads of new ideas, so I'm really excited to share that.
I'll just do a screen share. Hang on, we got Harriette's the Crown Coach over on Facebook. She's obviously on Instagram as well. So what's the easiest way for people to book in with yourself, Harriette?
Either Facebook or Instagram. You can even message me on my personal account as well. That's Facebook and Instagram as well. I do reply. I might be a little bit slower on my main feed Instagram, but all is welcome, and you can give me a message.
Oh, you've got a link here that says bookwhen.com, the Crown Coach. Is that a booking link?
Yeah, that's just so you can easily book if you do want to book in. I've got the virtual and now the kind of in-person dates. You can probably see even from some of today, I've had some face-to-face things, but you can just book in on there, and it's really easy.
That's amazing. I love the fact that you've actually got an online booking form so people don't have to do the
Brilliant.
whole DM back and forth. I really wish more coaches would do that.
Yeah.
So coaches, if you're watching and you're still doing DMs rather than actually having an online booking form, then I think you need to get with the times because it's so much
Yeah,
easier.
Charlotte
Just,
Clemmy decided like, what did you use? So I think Charlotte Clemmy did this.
yeah. I
Definitely
put you
so
onto
easy
this
to use.
StreamYard software. I put Charlotte onto because Charlotte actually Charlotte will be on with us next week. She'll be our guest next week. And I haven't told Danielle and Lauren this. I've been busy setting up guests rather than doing everything last minute. But Charlotte's just started up her podcast, and she's using the same software as we use to bring guests on. So I really love seeing people move with the times. And Harriette's had a go at using this software as well, with success. She's done a Facebook.
It's Harriette proof.
It's Harriet. I don't know. We should have a battle between you and Danielle to see who is less technologically literate.
I'm getting there.
Harriet? What's the most embarrassing tech fail that you've ever had? Have you had any embarrassing tech fails other than waiting to go live tonight by sitting in front of Facebook? I mean, that's pretty funny, but.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I was sat on the other one.
Watching
just,
the
like,
Facebook
waiting,
link.
raring to go. Yeah, raring to go, watching it go down. I think actually it's another live one that I couldn't work out how you went live on a Facebook thing, and I was literally there for ages, and I had to, like most technology things, I actually ask my mum. Like still now, I'm going, how do you do that? I don't know how you do. Honestly, with Facebook, I can be terrible. Like, I can post on the main feed, message people, create a group, and that's as far as I get. Oh, actually, I've got another one. I was sat on Facebook on a live ready for someone to join, that you couldn't do that. That was, and you couldn't do. A couple of months ago, I was waiting, going, sorry guys, just waiting for the connection to come through, and then someone's like, oh, you can't do that anymore on Facebook.
Oh, that's when you messaged me. Yeah, no, okay,
Yeah.
I remember that. So you were just sat there by yourself having a grand old time and no one's
Yeah,
joining.
for like 20 minutes as well. I actually waited 20 minutes.
Oh,
Oh my
I
god.
kept it going though. People were there for me, just going. I was like, don't worry guys, we'll be starting any second.
What did you do for 20 minutes? Did you dance a jig, juggle, do some juggling? What were you doing?
I was just there going, saying hi to everyone personally, just going hi, like this, and that was literally it. I deleted it straight away after it came off.
That's always a sign it's gone well when you're like, do you want to save this? No,
Nope.
I do not. No.
It's absolutely not. I do not want to remember this.
Danielle, have you had any, aside from your technical debacles with us, have you had any embarrassing tech fails?
Well, I went live at the weekend, but for some reason I ended up deleting the live, so I then had to post the video on the stories. Luckily, I saved the live, but obviously it doesn't won't post the whole thing. It'll only post like 3 frames of it or 4 frames of it. So that was a bit annoying.
That's not too bad.
It's not too bad.
That's
No,
not too
I
bad.
haven't had anything major other than like phone dying halfway through this, or what other technical files? Yeah, that's about it. My phone dying halfway through, or not being able to hear anyone on this. Oh gosh, now I've got a shaky tripod.
Oh, I've actually just thought of another funny one. Oh my god, it was the other week. I actually was just on my phone and I must have hit live, and I just woke up, literally had like, when you tie your hair in a bun, it was like half my hair was hanging out, and all of a sudden I looked down with like 3 chins and I went live on my main
Hi,
Instagram.
people.
Obviously, there's about a few people on there,
I would have
and I was just
died.
like, it must have been a while, and I was just like, and I think about like 30 people watched it, but 30 too many who just didn't need to see that angle or me that more. Like,
I think everyone's butt dialed someone at some point though.
Oh,
Right.
I have not.
have. I was in America, and it was just as the what was it, like the big storm was hitting Florida, and we weren't sure whether we could come home or not. And my phone decided to send SOS to all my family that were my emergency contacts. And I already phoned my dad and said, like, I may get stuck in this storm. And I was on a roller coaster, and my phone like started to press like 911, and it had phoned it phoned the police in America, and then it sent an alert out to my sister, my grandma, my dad, my stepmom, saying SOS, here's Lauren's location.
How do you
That was a
butt
fun.
dial 911?
It was on my old phone, and basically if you put the phone facing up, the screen would automatically come on, and because it was in my bum bag, which was against my chest, it was like dialing, I don't know, it was just awful. And then everyone got this SOS text message.
All the numbers to dial 911 is not really the anyway.
It was awful.
That counts. All right, well that's embarrassing tech
and
fails.
Danielle
Lauren,
pranked me saying, Lauren, was it you? Yeah, it was you, Danielle. Lauren, what have you put on your story?
No, I
What?
think I messaged Lauren on April Fool's Day saying, "Babe, why have you uploaded a naked picture of yourself on your story?" And she's gone, "What?"
And then I was checking my Instagram story. It wasn't on
So
there.
you was like,
My
"No, I don't
Facebook story. I was like, I haven't done it. I was literally shaking. I was like, oh my God, what's happened?
I sent that to a lot of people. The amount of people that fell for it, it was quite funny.
It was cruel.
How long did you spend planning that, Danielle? Or was that just spur of the moment?
She'd probably seen it on TikTok and decided to copy it.
Someone did it to me, so I was like, "This is brilliant." But I was just like, "Mate, you can't get me that way. There's no dirt on my phone. It's fine. We're cool." I was like, "But however, I'll just message everyone else."
That's our Danielle. Harriet, do you have TikTok?
Oh yes. I think my name is also Harriette_. I don't know if somehow I got 15,000 followers just randomly appeared. It's not much compared to what some people again, but for not really using it, not bad.
You need to do the with the dog. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious when it's like creeping up to the bed.
Yeah, and food as well. Literally the other day you ran away with my omelette. Like I put it out and literally took it, ran.
Oh.
I
See,
wouldn't be happy about that.
You don't get that problem with a cat. You don't get that problem with a cat.
No.
I do. Cats steal food.
Chicken or ham.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah.
Mine's good.
Cats are the worst with that. Not only will they jump up on counters and steal food, cats seem to have this fascination with like chewing leaves and flowers because it makes them vomit, and apparently they want to vomit. They also will chew like my cat made a hole in my back. He likes the sound of plastic. So you're trying what?
I'm trying to sell the idea to Harriet that all cats are not bad. You're painting a bad picture for them. You're speciesist.
Hardly Harriet was. I hardly think Harriet was really about to just buy a cat.
She needs a
or
cat
something.
in her life. I know.
No, she doesn't need She doesn't need a cat in her life. She needs to get busy getting her mum ready for pageants. That's what she needs to dedicate her life to. We've managed to get Sarah into a pageant, and now Harriet now needs to train her up.
You can't learn to catwalk without watching a cat walk.
Oh God, dad jokes.
I don't even know where to go from here.
Neither do I, apparently. I swear, one time, Danielle, I have to get you to run this thing just so that you can see what it's like to try and keep some semblance of where we're going with this. Because if there's anyone who's going to take us on a random tangent, actually, that's not fair. I was going to say, if anyone's going to take us on a random tangent, it would be Danielle. Lauren, you're pretty bad with that as well. I mean, Lauren last week ended up talking. Harriet, did you see? I don't know if you saw it, but do you know why Lauren doesn't like salt on her chips?
No.
Lauren, would you like to tell Harriet why you don't like salt?
So I went to Egypt when I was younger, and I swallowed too much of the seawater, and then I had to have a needle in my bum.
Oh, I did see this. I wasn't full context. I had the volume on and I just got needle in the bum. I was like, I'm just gone past this. I don't know what.
So basically when you have too much salt, it makes you really, really ill. So I was so dehydrated they had to give me a needle in my bum.
But you're not going to need a needle in the bum every time you have some fries with salt on it.
I know, but I've just been scarred ever since and I hate the taste of salt.
I don't blame you, honestly.
I went to McDonald's today and I was actually like, can I have some fries with no salt on, please? And
They're
they're
like,
like,
oh, there's
I've been
always
called the
one.
B word for asking for that before.
Because they're already sorted.
Yeah.
Well,
We've
they
got to
should
make a
them
fresh batch up for you every time.
Well, at least you know my fries are fresh and they've not been sitting there for about an hour.
Like
To
my
be
brother
fair-
works for McDonald's. I normally go in like asking for weird stuff, going put extra caramel on through the window.
Extra caramel on your fries?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's for my ice cream, not for the fries.
I don't know, because
The ice cream.
I've had, all sorts of weird discussions, like people insisting that you should put your French fries in ice cream and in smoothies. And I'm like, well, just no. I don't understand what's going on. Your mum has said, can you imagine having a cat with Marmaduke? Marmaduke's a dog, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Marmaduke's the dog. Anytime he sees a cat, a rabbit, or he's actually also afraid and wants to pretty much attack any other
Aw.
dog, unfortunately. So he barks, and he's a Great Dane cross lurcher, so he's absolutely huge. And obviously, he weighs like 60 kilos. I kid you not. And when that's dragging you around, and there's a cat next door, and literally every time it goes past, you can hear him going wild. And also, if you got him on the lead, that you're going with him wherever he's going.
But
Oh my
he might
goodness.
get used to it and they might become besties and then he might stop chasing the cats in the
I'm
street.
scared for the cat. I'm scared for the cat.
I just have this image of you being dragged down the street behind Marmaduke, holding on to the lead and, like on a sleigh.
Literally.
Okay, so guys, have you got any? Oh, sorry, there was a question here. Layla's asked you the best part of internationals, and then we'll go to the wrap up. So, Harriet, your whole time in Japan, you did mention the orange. How could we forget the oranges? But the best part of internationals, apart from cutting off all the oranges.
I think actually the final meal after top 5, it was the last night together. Like we had the most incredible meal. Like the girls, we were just like we were there for like ages together. Even though it was kind of like a little bit of a sad moment that kind of saying goodbye to each other because I had like the earliest flight the next day, and I realized actually how good the friendships were. And that whole day, the meal, the experience with all the organization as well. That was just the highlight of it. It was such an amazing thing to go out with the whole of the organization of Miss International and being with the top 5 girls.
Nice. How was the sushi in Japan, by the way?
Not the same as the UK. I really liked it still, but it was very much like rice, fish, and that was it. There was no like avocado, no sauces, and none of that. It was just quite plain sushi. But I enjoyed it still.
Sounds good. Okay, let's wrap this up. So I can't remember. I'm having deja vu. I think I tried starting this and then we got sidetracked on tangents. Harriet, what have you got coming up in the next month or so? Anything exciting coming up?
Just the new dates for Crown Coach for face-to-face, and also lots of virtual clients that I'll be doing over the next coming weeks.
All right, and we've got the booking link there.
What? Louise.
Lauren's having a... This episode has been about walk-ons. Danielle, you need to have someone walk on. Lauren, what have you got coming up apart from tricking all your friends come over to paint your room?
Nothing. I'm working Wednesday and Thursday now, and then just waiting for the arrival of all my friends, and I can't wait to catch up with them all.
Have you got any rewards planned for them for painting your room? Are you going to feed them?
No, we're not painting my room. I'm hoping we'll just have a few drinks and a catch up and just have a good time.
Can I have a takeaway?
Yeah. Unless you want me to cook for you.
No, we'll have a takeaway.
Lauren, you can cook, can't you? It's Chloe who can't.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can cook.
Lauren can cook. I have seen her concoctions.
I'm pretty good at cooking.
You are. I'll give you credit where it's due. But she's been bigging up this Indian restaurant that you can see from her house.
Yeah.
So,
and then we might go on a hike up to the castle ruins, which will be fun.
Sounds very nice. I hope the weather is good for you. The weather in the UK has been looking the
says
same as the weather
sunny
here.
all weekend.
Okay, fingers crossed for you. Well, is that the first time you would have caught up like physically since Galaxy UK?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh God, jeez. That'll be emotional. You guys will be in
I'll film it
tears
for
seeing
you.
each other. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm missing out on that one. You guys are going to be so emotional. It'll be the reunion.
They're going to be welcomed with a shot of tequila, so it's okay.
I thought you used to say I was going to be welcomed by getting shot. I'm like, wow, that's a hell of a
Maybe
welcome.
if they're patrolling the borders, Lauren, I might actually get shot.
Oh God,
No.
sneak you in undercover.
The good thing is I'm right on the border and they're not patrolling it, so it's fine.
Sounds good. Danielle, what have you got coming up?
Getting some content out for my YouTube video, catching up with friends, and that is about it. I will be probably playing far too much Animal Crossing. Yeah, that's my life right now.
Same.
Catching up with friends because we can now, ish.
Yeah. Sounds good. And if you have that chance, definitely take it, because God knows what's going to happen. It could go backwards and all the lockdown restrictions come back, God forbid. So whilst you can see your friends, definitely go see your friends. Okay, let's hold it there. We don't have any more questions. Harriette, thank you for spending time with us, and you now have first-hand experience at seeing how random we can be.
Sorry about that.
Thank you so much for having me as well. No, I've loved
I don't think your mum has loved it, but yeah, I feel like we've accomplished something this episode.
We got progress.
Oh, Danny.
Good progress, guys.
I've just reminded Danielle, and she's now continuing to fill out the application.
I'll just use her profile picture.
Oh, jeez. Sarah, I don't control her, okay? I know she's right there, that thing next to me, but no one controls Danielle, so don't, well, I guess you can sort of blame me, but she's the one doing it.
Sarah just walking into Danielle's room now and being like, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
hello. Hang on. Finally. Hang on. I can't even work it
That
out.
Marmaduke?
Can't see.
Oh.
Wow, that's
You
a
can see how-
monster.
He's so
The head's
Down
up
on
to the
bombs there.
handle.
I know.
It's a
He's
biggie.
literally the size of like a tabletop. So dangerous for food. You can see why my omelette left.
I bet the omelette would leave pretty quickly as well. Looks like it can run like the wind. Okay, and Lauren and Danielle, thank you for your time. I'm going to leave Danielle to finish completing the. I can see your mum in the background. I can hear the clicking of the toenails. I'll leave Danielle to finish completing the form for your mother. And guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you same time next week, and our guest will be Charlotte Clemmy. So we'll see you then.
Hey guys, it's Adrian again. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and remember to head over to pageantlaunch.com and join the launch team for our pageant review site. All you need to do is put in your email address. Thanks, and speak to you next time.